Hello everybody, this is what you've been waiting for, how to upload drum loop samples on the Yamaha PSR EW410 or the E463 or the i500. This applies to 3 of the machines. Let's get down to it. Let's get the first sample in. We're going to drop this one in. This is an MP3 and we're just going to just listen to it quickly. Snip off this end. This is what it sounds like now. And it'll just go on, but it's not really a loop. So we're going to try and loop this. First of all, we're going to just lop off this end here. We don't need that. Let's truncate this manually first. That's the first thing we're going to do. Now let's just give a little zoom. Press play. Go back, let's see where our start point should be. And let's say about here-ish. So we're going to drag that, delete, zoom into that, zoom, 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 until we can get to the end. We're just going to snip that off, like so. Gone. Now let's get to the other end, the end truncate, I call it. Let's have a look. Where does it end? So it's going to end around there. Okay. Let's just quickly lock that off. Doop. And let's just get back into this pie. Right, now zoom in. And let's just slice the end of that off as well. Try not to be too rough, try and be as accurate as you can. And now, how do you loop it in Audacity? Well, it's quite simple. You hit Shift and Spacebar. If you just hit play, it's just going to give you this now. Whoops, armed. But if I hit Shift and Space, there's your loop. Originally this is around, I think it was roughly 100 and something beats per minute. But if you want to change that, you just highlight the whole thing. And you can just go to Effects and change tempo. You can actually do this. It's quite simple. So you start from the original beat. You can just find the beat of this normally by tapping on beat on the keyboard, and you'll be able to find out what BPM that is. We'll just tell you manually. Or then you just enter your new BPM into this side here. If you got a rounded off BPM, that's fine. Keep it around, say, for example, 120 BPM, 110, 90, no odd numbers. So don't go doing something like 115 BPM or whatever it is. Because Yamaha PSR for EWs, the E series don't read 0.5s. So you've got to do it in a rounded off tens. Okay, right, next section. We're going to upload this onto the EW410. So we're going to need an aux cable, obviously. So this is just plugged in. You can see there's a cable here, and that just, where is it? There we go. So that's plugged into the laptop, and that goes all the way to the keyboard itself, which is plugged into the EW410. That's the one I'm going to be using today. So without further ado, let's get uploading. For this next part, I'll be doing shaky camera mode, so I have to hold this thing. This is quite useful, this little dent here. You can just put your USB sticks here, you can just leave them here. Not really here for that anyway. Anyway, right, so to sample, hit quick sampling, and you will see the menu come up, quick sample. So you want to do a loop. So loops are on this side. So B, C, D, E, F or G. Now I usually loop on the black keys because that's the best. This is a loop key. So I'll do, so for example, press a key. I'm going to press B. Loop, yes or no? So I'm going to hit yes. This says press record. So all I got to do now is just, first I'm going to hit record and then press play on the laptop. So, okay, let's do this. So there is the play button and there is record here. So, can we hit record? Press record again. Now the keyboard should say writing. At this point, just let it do its thing. Just don't touch anything, don't mess around with it, let it write. And please also remember not to hit shift and spacebar. Otherwise, you will not. You'll just get that. You won't get a proper loop. You'll just get this, whatever's playing on the laptop. So make sure it's just a one-shot play. Just hit play and that's it. Right, the next part is listening to your sample. So after your keyboard says that it's written everything, well, it'd say writing, after it said that, you should end up something like this. I sped that up, obviously. The quality's fine, doesn't sound bad. And you can go on to doing some awesome things. You can also record some rave stabs. Hang on a minute. Let's just stretch that out a little bit. Oops. Well, there you get the idea. And you can also make some awesome songs. So, okay, ready? It's all playing through the keyboard. Well, you get the idea. That's the kind of thing you can actually produce on here. Once you've matched up the BPM to the tens and not an odd number like a 0.5. So if your BPM's 125, 120.5, it's not going to match up with the PSI EW410. It might go ahead, it might go behind. It's got to be a rounded off 10, so remember about 120, not 120.5 or 100.5 or 90.5. It's got to be a rounded off number. I can't stress that anymore. Okay. Now to save your samples, what you need to do is, hang on first, let's get this. Make sure you've got a USB stick. I'm just using this simple one. I'm using two, one for loops and one for samples. What you do is first, you hit function, and if you notice it says save sample, you want to shift to load sample by hitting category, right, load sample. You press execute. It says press a key, so you're going to press a key for your loop. So you're going to save on that one, whichever one you actually uploaded it to. Well, I uploaded it to E, didn't I? But let's say B4 just for sake of it. And all you do is you press execute twice, and after that it will save your sample. Simple as. So last of all, what I think about this keyboard, this would be really good if Yamaha could actually do away with this screen and go with a square matrix screen or a dot matrix, whatever it is, and also just make it a bit more bigger. Obviously there's going to be cost involved. And the sampling, just extend on the features. You can do some really good stuff on this. When we have to actually do this on a computer, we can just do this on the dot matrix screen instead and just truncate it to how we want, stretch it, pitch it, transpose, whatever you want to do. It'd be better if it was on board, but yeah, you can't have everything. And lastly, you'll notice your keyboard hasn't got a, what do we call it? Ooh, it is a quantise option, yes. Quantise is only available on the arpeggiator. So once you use arpeggiator, you'll have a quantise option. You can go through the category to look for this. So you go to function, and let's get out of this first. Function. And it'll give you the option of truncating, but only, sorry, not truncating, by quantizing. But you can only do this when you're using arpeggiator. But the other thing, yeah, well there you go, you have quantise options there, it's all there. So it's at 1/16 of. And the second thing I wanted to tell you about is the, here we go, almost there, blank cut. Make sure it's on. If you turn it off, you'll be pressing record in time with the play button and ending it with the stop button in time with that. That's a pain in itself. You do not want to be doing that. So leave blank cut on. The keyboard will do it for you, because you can't do this on the keyboard, so you've got to rely on the Yamaha to actually do this for you and to truncate this. Okay, well I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this was useful for you, and Happy New Year everyone. Take care.